utmost love for you.
The Lord is my shepherd, He sees and knows all things. Without Your love, this world is nothing. So people are just doing what they're doing. Little children are there dying of suffering. Show a little love, be nice. Give them the greater thing is life. Show a little love and be nice.
Hallan Daphnis coming to you from Miami. I am here at the front of Don Jimmie's snack bar, and he also has Papa Jimmie's pizza. And it is indeed my pleasure to be joined this evening with a talented singer by the name of Wazy. We've done several work before in the past, and we are here tonight to talk about what he has done before in the past, what is current, and some of his aspirations going into the future. Wazy, a pleasure to be with you again.
It's always a pleasure to meet you, sir.
All is good?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
all right. Now, of course, I know you. We've done a lot of work before in the past, and there are some new viewers right now who may not exactly who Wazy is. Where exactly are you from, Wazy?
Well, of course, with all due respect to you and yours, yes, I was born on the island of St. Lucia.
Okay.
And at a young age, I was brought to the island of St. Croix,
okay,
called the Virgin Island, the U.S. Virgin Island.
Okay.
And of course, so I went to my school in there. My son is over there.
Okay.
Yes, right now my mom is still over there.
All right, from St. Croix, and you grew up in the Virgin Islands and so forth and so on. When did you first arrive to the United States of America?
Wow, back in like 80, 81,
really?
around that time.
Yes. What was that particular experience like when you first arrived to the United States compared to when you were, back home in the islands? What was your first impression back then?
Back then, of course, the place was not developed as it is today.
Okay.
So, it was always my ambition to pursue, my goal, my career, which is all music.
All right.
So, from then till now, I've seen quite a development.
Okay.
In the community and also in myself. And,
all right, so when you say the development in the community here, we're talking about Miami per se in general.
Oh, yes.
All right, very good, very good. Now, I know that you are a singer, an entertainer, you love the industry. Is this something that you started doing while you were back home in the Virgin Islands, or is this something that occurred as soon as you arrived in the United States? And how did that happen?
Actually, I was blessed.
Okay.
To be brought up by my grandma.
Okay.
My grandma, around Christmas time or when there is a wake in the community, it would be her and her brother, and they would have friends, and they would go either to the home where the person passed,
okay,
or if it's on the holidays, they would go from house to house, singing and dancing.
Okay.
So I was brought up into that mix. As far as I could remember, in the school that I was going, called the primary school, back in the day in my country as a kid growing up, around the age I could remember, probably, of course I was born there, so like 9, 10, in the community. My grandma came to that school.
Okay.
Yes, and they did a few songs, actually in Creole.
In Creole as well?
Yes,
now, I want to get into the Creole aspect of the whole thing. But when you said that your mom or your grandma used to take you to the wakes and to the special celebrations, is there a particular song that you remember that she would have you sing when you are basically celebrating, a birthday or whatever it was? What is it that comes to mind right now that you remember?
Well, one of the songs that I can't seem to forget part of is the song when she came to the school.
Okay.
And it's a song.
How does that go?
It's something like, Titino, titino, joie. Titino, titino, joie. Titino, titino. And it's like, Titin sorti Cayenne, I vini Saint-Lucie, I trope Saint-Lucie belle, I parle oui encore, oh titino, titino.
Now, that's interesting. You mentioned the Virgin Islands. You mentioned St. Lucie. Now, which one of these islands that they speak the Creole dialect? Because I noticed that you speak Creole, you speak the Creole patois as well. Where do they speak it?
In St. Lucia.
In St. Lucia.
St. Lucia one time was inhabited by the French.
Okay.
And of course, through that, you know, of course, after that the English came.
Okay.
You know, and they are controlling right now. But before, there was one time that the French used to control. And so that left a little residue of that, you know, the culture and the people.
Okay.
So I grew up hearing my grandma speaking it, especially in the community.
Okay.
In the city, it's a wildly English based, even though there is, you know, also the Creole. But on the outskirts, there are many towns that basically speak the Creole.
All right. So when you came to South Florida, Miami in particular, and of course you spoke of the patois, the Creole, how easy was it for you to intertwine and to mingle with the Haitian Americans residing here in South Florida?
Well, I have learned quite a lot, tell you the truth. In reference, I'm glad that you asked this question. In reference to, for instance, I would say I learned Kunia, and all the time I'm hearing it, I didn't really understand.
Okay.
Because in my Creole, I would say actuellement.
Actuellement.
Yeah.
C'est français. Actuellement.
Okay.
And Kunia is Creole.
Okay.
Okay, that's very interesting. Now, I met you over, if I'm not mistaken, several years ago, Naomi's Garden of the Poet. You know, and I was watching you perform with a band at that particular time, and it really got my attention because you were singing something, you know, in Creole, and I said, well, here's a Haitian American who's dread, who's a Rasta, you know, involved in playing with a reggae band. How often have people approached you to say, well, you are one of us, you're a Haitian who has turned to become a Rastaman? How do you react to that?
Well, of course, it's a family. You know, since I came, I embraced it. I always embraced it. I always feel embraced.
Okay.
By the Haitian community. Even though I am St. Lucian, I am welcome, especially when I speak the Creole. Once I speak the Creole, I am immediately I've been embraced. So it's wonderful. I mean, my experience is great. And I always had the thought of one day, through the art and through the love of music, hopefully that would have the opportunity to go to Haiti and contribute, especially in the situation that we're in with the earthquake and so many people. And I always thought of doing something to contribute. And also that knowing that our present president of Haiti is one that I have met before he became president, Sweet Mickey.
Sweet Mickey, Michel
Right.
Martelly, yes.
So I was hoping that they would have some kind of more event in trying to raise funds by doing musical concerts and of such, and inviting other people from, you know, different parts of the world.
Okay. I see that you have really welcomed the Haitian culture. You love us. You've done many works within the community at large. If there is something that you want us to know about your country that stands out that most of us are not aware of, what would you want us and the viewers watching to know about St. Lucia?
Well, St. Lucia is like, you know, the same way that I am welcome, and that love that I feel by the Haitian community. It is almost similar in comparison, because I remember as a kid growing up, if a stranger would come home, I would sleep on the floor that night. Well, of course, you know, you put some together, some rags and whatever, another mattress, but I would have to give up my bed to give to that stranger. It doesn't matter who it is, once he's a stranger. And this is, I feel that same kind of love. Okay. You know, also with my.
That's beautiful. Now, the month of May is Haitian Heritage Month. And I remember I was speaking with you, and I mentioned to you that we're working on several projects as far as this particular celebration. And you volunteered and said, well, I want to participate. I want to be a part of it. Not so much as the singer. Why did you feel it was really necessary to be a part of this celebration and to perform on Haitian Flag Day and as well as the 19th? Why was that necessary to you?
Well, it's very important, not just necessary, but it's very important because especially the crisis that we are in right now.
Okay.
We need to use whatever form of art and togetherness that we can to kind of bring the people together as much as we can, because you know, we are kind of not too entwined as a whole. We would like to be more closer, and because the closer we are, we're able to do more as a collective to help, you know, especially in Haiti and the situation that we're in. You know, so having an opportunity to participate in my heart is also contributing to such.
Okay.
You know, so you know, Flag Day is just as important as using it, and probably we could use it as a platform.
Okay.
To contribute and ask for, you know, whatever donation that we can. Because you know, if someone could give $1, if we're having a concert where, you know, we say okay, it's free but we wanted to bring a can of food and it's for 70 to 80 or whatever you can.
Okay.
You know, if you could bring 1 can, you bring 1 can. If you could bring 100 cans, you bring 100 cans. If you give $1, it's all great. If you give $100, it's all great. And we create our own, you know, in our community. I know there is others that are doing this.
Of course.
And this is great, you know.
All right.
But I'm saying the more, the merrier.
All right. Now, when we see a Rastaman, we always think of somebody from Jamaica. And of course, Wycliffe changed that around because, you know, he is a Haitian, you know, American residing here. And when they say, for example, Wazy is going to perform, automatically they think about reggae music. But you are very versatile in your repertoire.
Yes. Sir.
What can we expect to hear from you when you come on the 18th over at Caso Del Don Jimmie on Haitian Flag Day? And I believe the following day on May 19th, you'll be over at Chef Creole, Seafood, corner of 54th and Northwest 2nd Avenue. What can we expect to hear from you?
Well, you always expect to hear something positive in Wazy.
Yeah.
You know, whether I'm singing one of my songs, I'm choosing someone, you know, or a song that sends out a beautiful message. You know, it's me, it's Wazy. You know, so and the energy. You know, of course, I'm putting out a lot of energy because this work is not. I'm not doing it because I want to be on TV. Or I want to be.
Yes.
It's something that. From a youth, you know, I've been doing it. I remember my grandma used to have myself and my siblings compete to see who could dance the best. So it's something automatic. So automatically, once I have a mic in my hand and I hear music, I'm rocking to it unconsciously, without, you know. So basically, it would mean it's a good energy, a good feel. Expect something nice, a show. I always have this show mentality, because I believe if you're going to present something, you got to not just give them something to listen to, but something to look at, because they'll be looking at you. So I always... All right.
Speaking with Wazy, a popular singer here in the South Florida area, originally from St. Lucia, grew up in St. Kitts. Now, we have
Virgin Island.
The Virgin Islands, that's right. St. Croix, the Virgin Island. Now, is there a project that you're working on right now, like a new CD that we're not aware of? And if so, what can we expect from that particular project?
I'm glad that you mentioned. I'm working on a project. It's always my dream to do such work. I guess it took me so long, even though I have done work with others and I'm on multiple CDs with other artists.
Okay.
But for myself, I haven't really come together and put together a work that I feel pleased with.
Okay.
So the Lord has given me the strength, opening new doors with the good heart and the kind and the contribution.
All right.
You know, I guess, you know, because He says, you know, trust in me and I'll give thee the desire of your heart. So
amen to that.
That's my base of if I'm going to be successful, or, you know. But I'm still feeling I'm successful, because every time I'm doing it, I'm feeling so joyful, and I'm feeling like, okay, you know, it's a fulfillment. So
that's good. Now, of course, you know, you and I, we are bilingual, you know, up to a certain point, and many of our Haitian viewers as well, they say, well, this guy's from St. Lucia and he speaks Creole as well. Nous avons une possibilité qui gagne avant que nous concluions l'interview ça qu'on a fait pour le moment. Je suis capable de chanter pour nous, un a cappella, une musique que peut-être on va chanter pour nous le 18 et le 19 mai de ce mois. Le 18, la Caso Del Don Jimmie, 25 Northwest 2nd Avenue, and on the 19th at Chef Creole, which is at 200 Northwest 54th Street. Qui sont capables de chanter pour nous pendant que super branché, téléspectateurs et internautes ont regardé et entendu nous la connaître. Qui sont aimés chanter pour vous?
Well, one of the songs, well, of course we're working on a few right now. Of course there is many more. But for one of them that particularly we're working on, it has a beautiful, because I sit down and take time.
Okay.
And the message is very fulfilling even to myself.
All right.
So to share it with you, there is this verse that says, "Oh, let your light shine bright, for all eyes can see. Let only truth come from my lips, and I will stay this way. I will never change, show as the sun rising from the east. Ooh, yeah, 'cause we come to be seek and destroy, but you keep the faith, don't hesitate, and you will endure, 'cause we are the builders. They come to mash up. Keep the faith, don't hesitate, and we will endure."
All right, Wazy, thank you very much, man, for taking the time out to speak with me right here in front of Don Jimmie's snack bar and, of course, Papa Jimmie's Pizza. You'll be here on May 18 to perform for us, as well as on May 19th over at Chef Creole Seafood. Both of them in Miami starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I have truly enjoyed your presence. I want to say thank you to Monique and Louis Starr Community Funeral Home, our major sponsor for the event. HAE Foundation, they are saving lives and helping to rebuild lives in Haiti and really help the city because they're the ones who to propel Haiti into a brighter and a much hopeful future. So come out and see the man, Wazy, May 18th for Caso Del Don Jimmie, and of course on May 19th at Chef Creole Seafood. Until next time, Alex, take us home, brother.
The uttermost love for you.
The Lord is my shepherd, he sees and knows all things.